Hello everyone, welcome back to another unboxing and review. Today I'll be taking a look at these new Funkos of Jack and Syndrome and Edna Mode from The Incredibles, which recently celebrated its 20th anniversary, which is why these Funkos were released last month to commemorate the film's 20th anniversary. I got these from Amazon. They arrived November 29th and they cost $12.99 each. Although I'm not reviewing this till actually over a month after I got them because I've just been so busy with the holidays and work and everything. But nonetheless, I did want to unboxed them for YouTube, so I put them to the side for a little bit and finally got around to doing that soon. So I'm definitely looking forward to taking a look at these at long last. So the Edna Mode that I will be unboxing, that is with the fire glasses. They did do a different Edna earlier in the year with the newspaper. I'm going to compare those later in the video. And then the Jack and Syndrome, I have no idea why they call him just JJ on the box. He's never referred to as JJ in the movies. That's definitely an interesting choice. Nonetheless, starting up with the package, you can see the on the bottom left of the Jack and Syndrome package, you have a nice stock photo. This is interesting in that with the way the stock photo layout is that you can actually see all the Syndrome space. A lot of times you can only see like half the character space, so Jack is the one who's only half visible. In the top, Syndrome is cut out by the eyes. You have Pixar logo in the top left, Pop logo in the top right, Funko logo in the bottom left. In the front again, you can have Funko Pop logo in the top left, the Incredibles logo in the top center, and Syndrome and Jack is number 1506. On the side, you have this nice red to yellow gradient. See the Pop logo, full stock photo, name, and 1506 again. On the back, you can see that they also made Glory Days, Elastigirl, and Mr. Incredible in the series. I did do an unboxing of those a while ago. I'll put a link to that in the description, and the card suggestion pop up in the top right-hand corner if you'd like to check that out. See the stock photo again. On the other side of the package, you have the Pop logo, name, another stock photo, and here's the bottom. Here's Edna's box. It's pretty similar in that pretty basically the same layout, and then with the stock photo cut off next to her nose, Pop logo, Incredibles logo, number 1507. On top, you have her stock photo cut off around the eyes, Pixar, Pop, Funko. Stock photo again, 1507, Pop, Edna Mode. What is interesting is that they just call her Edna Mode, and the newspaper one, they also call that one Edna Mode, but it's like they're different versions of Edna Mode. They're not even the same number in the series, so why are you calling them both Edna Mode? You should differentiate them a little bit better, but nonetheless, it is pretty clear from looking at it it's different. I just think naming-wise, it's kind of weird they call them both the same name. And here's the back again and the bottom. So let's take a look at these two out of the package. So here they are in the package. They look great as usual for Funko. I'm definitely excited to take a look at these. I'll start off with Syndrome. Taking a look at Syndrome. Syndrome lifts it up into the air. He has a plastic base with a stand that's not removable. He has the holder that connects up to his back underneath the cape, which is pretty cool. Nice expression. I really do like that. It kind of gives off that the so-called CalArts mouth, where it's like kind of like a bean shape, which isn't the style that they use in the Incredibles movies, but I feel like it does fit the Funko vibe nice. With his eyes, it's pretty cool. They actually put in a little bit of eyelid in black, which is cool. It's not often that they actually do that with the Funkos, so that's pretty cool. You can see his teeth. The mouth, it is beveled in, so you could feel the teeth and where the mouth lines are and everything. Nice face mask. You could also feel the eyebrows where that's beveled out. Pretty cool that they even have some of the hair being pulled out by Jack. Nice S on his shirt. You have the plastic beams from his boots. Hands are in a nice expression. You could see and feel each of the individual fingers. It has the cape, which is not movable like at all. His head is able to rotate 360 degrees around. That is the only point of articulation on him. I definitely love his expression. I'm taking a look at Jack Jack. Pretty cool that eyebrows that they have in Jack Jack. The point on the top as well. Black eyes. You could see and feel a lot of individual teeth on him. Nice detailing with the diaper. Jack Jack's head is not able to move at all. Jack Jack has no points of articulation. There is some text on the syndrome stands that reads, you have to read it from the bottom, and it reads, copyright Disney Pixar, Funko LLC 2024, www.funko.com, made in China, and then some products code FAC-046670-24214. Just basic information. Cinder definitely does this nice texturing on his hair. You could see and feel all the individual hair strands, which is nice. Like little clumps of hair, a lot of them. Really, Funko, they've done great with the hair lately on all these characters. Definitely looks really great. You can really see it just looks really cool. So doing a comparison to Jack Jack, this is the Demon Jack Jack that they released in the Incredibles 2 Funko line back in 2018. That's that version of Jack Jack has been vaulted, which means it's no longer being manufactured. I honestly have no idea what the price is on eBay going for. At the top of my head, I got it 6 years ago when Incredibles 2 was released. Nonetheless, the expression is a bit different. So on the original Demon Jack Jack, the teeth were closer together. Although it is a similar mouth shape. Again, you had the CalArts mouth on both of them. Like the teeth, they do look closer together on the Incredibles 2 one, as I was saying before. But like the eyebrows and everything are the same size. The pointed mouth on his head, it looks like it's proportionally bigger on the one from Incredibles 2 than the new one. And the coloring is also slightly different. It looks to be a little bit more brown in the new one. The diaper is also in like a slightly different angle, but generally the same shape. It looks like. Obviously, his arms are posed completely differently. So they're reaching out, so you could like pull in the hair. Whereas the one from Incredibles 2, it's more of in fighting pose. You will see a little bit of muscle in the Incredibles 2 one, which you can't on the new one. And the eyebrows, they look to be just the same eyebrows, just scaled down a little bit. So Jack Jack is like mostly scaled down, but in a different pose, and the teeth, they changed the design of a bit, but he's otherwise pretty similar. So there was a different version of Syndrome that was released a very long time ago, very early in the Disney Funko line. Like, I think we're probably talking 2012, 2013 probably, I forget the top of my head, but that Syndrome since vaulted and is going for crazy prices online, and I don't have him, probably never will, but I'm going to do a photo comparison to a stock photo. So I have the stock photo up on my iPad next to me. I'll put the photo in the video when I edit it. So comparing those two Syndromes, it looks like obviously very different facial expressions. The original Syndrome doesn't even have a mouth at all. The hair, it looks like it doesn't go up as high, and it's also a brighter shade of orange, it looks like. The eyes were still white, but they didn't have any eyelids at all, whereas this one does. The mask, it looks like it goes like really far down up here, and then it's like flat on the bottom, but like has a sharp like U on the top. Whereas this one, it has like that upside down U on the bottom, and like it doesn't, and like the flattest top, so it's like inverted the shape, or flipped upside down. His shirt, it looks like it's the S is more like the S does look to be a bit of a different shape as well. Could just be the torso goes a little bit down further. There's no the blue flame coming from the rocket boots, and he stands on his feet. I forgot to mention that you can make out his remotes, or the wrist remote on his right hand. You can see the details engraved onto it. I can't tell if they had that in the original Syndrome Funko, but it looks like the original one might have also had a little bit more engravings around on the wrist area for the buttons in there. This one still has that, but looks like not as many potentially compared to the stock photos. And they also had that on his left hand, which they don't on this one. And also the hands were in a completely different pose. They were more like fists, whereas this one is more like a freaking out hand pose. And as for the cape, it looks like the cape may have been a little bit of a brighter blue than this new one. So like they completely changed the syndrome. Obviously, this one also had Jack attached with which the original didn't. So it's kind of hard to compare in that regard. Like this one is from a very specific scene in the movie. The other syndrome is like a more generic syndrome. Nonetheless, I think looking at the stock photos, they did make a lot of improvements. The way the coloring is and the way some of the details are done. Definitely, I think it would be nice if they would reissue like a new syndrome that's just syndrome. But nonetheless, I do really, really like this. And now that I have a version of syndrome, even if it's not just syndrome by himself, I could finally say I have every character from both the Incredibles movies every character they made a Funko of from both the movies as a Funko in some form, which is cool. To do some measuring of syndrome, starting at the base and going up to where the top of his hair is would be about 5¼ inches or 5�3/8 inches. If you go for where the feet are, ignoring the base, although again you can't disconnect them from the base, then it'd be closer to, I'm gonna do this off camera, but it would be, I think, closer to very similar, still about 5¼ but including the base is maybe close to the 5�3/8. It's more like 5¼ without the base, so pretty close. It's not that much of a difference between the two. His head across where the chin would be is like 1¾ inches. From where his hair goes out all the way to the other part would be about 3½ inches. 3¾ inches probably actually. Jack's head is 1½ inches, so and Syndrome's cape is about 1¾ inches. I'm sorry if my voice doesn't sound that great or if I sniffle on camera because I am a little sick right now. I'm feeling well enough to do a video, but I'm not feeling my best. So next up for reviewing is Edna Mode. So this is the Edna Mode with the fire glasses that was just released as well. It's definitely really cool expression. Both the Syndrome and the Edna that I'm taking a look at today, they're both from very specific moments in the first movie. So you can see Edna, she has her coffee cup, she has the reflection of the flames in her glasses. So just like with Syndrome, her head is able to do a full 360 around, and also Edna's stand is removable. You can disconnect it, although it looks like she doesn't seem to have any issue standing her own without the stand. But if you don't want to use the stand, it's just plain. There's a little bit of like a circle that extrudes out, and you could just plop that in the hole in one of her feet. She stands up like that. There is some text on the bottom of both of her feet, so I'll read those. I'll do it off camera because then I can be able to read it down there. So looking from the back, so this being left foot, the left foot reads FAC-046670-24214 and copyright Disney Pixar. And the right foot reads Funko LLC 2024 www.funko.com and made in China. So her hair is it's rather smooth, unlike Syndrome's, which had a ton of texturing to it. The glasses do have some pretty nice detail, as you could see. So they are a little bit transparent with an orange flare above the flame, so you can like see underneath. You can see that she has her black eyes, and then the flames are like a yellow sticker that they put on the glasses. It feels like, but it does look really cool though, having both the reflection and the transparent glasses. Her mouth is in a nice expression. You can make out the individual teeth, although unlike with Syndrome's, it's printed on, so you can't feel it or anything. So whereas Syndrome, you touched the mouth, you could feel that it's a different depth. You could feel the teeth. Edna's is just flat. It's just printed. But unlike Syndrome, her nose does some more detail. It looks to be a separate piece. You could feel that it comes out, and there's two individual engravings for her nostrils, whereas Syndrome's nose, on the other hand, was just a triangle that extrudes out. Edna does have some nice detailing on her shirt. You could feel the different areas of the shirt where they're beveled in. Her feet are fairly smooth, not really textured. And her hands and arms, you could feel different texturing for those areas in the shirt where it's more like diamond-shaped texturing. and you could see and feel her individual fingers as well. You have nice detailing with the purple V at the top of the shirt. You could see that the coffee mug, it's completely empty, but it has a red handle and is gray. So nonetheless, this Edna definitely looks really cool. Taking a comparison look at, like I said, to the newspaper one that was released as an SDCC exclusive earlier in the year. I'll put a link to that in the description below and the card suggestion pop-up in the top right-hand corner if you'd like to check that out. So taking a look, first things first, comparing her hair. The hair is completely identical in terms of the shape and where the different bevels of texture are. You could feel the bevels of the texture. I will say that when you're looking at it from a distance, the bevels and engravings and grooves on the one with the newspaper is actually slightly more noticeable for some reason, but they are nonetheless in the same locations exactly. Her mouth is in a different expression for both of them, which is cool. This one, you could obviously way more teeth than the other one. Different expression as well. You could see like the cartoony side mouths. It's very cartoony, like you'd find in 2D animation cartoons. What's interesting is that the bridge on her glasses is actually, it looks to be a little thicker on the one with the newspaper, but the shirt looks to be more or less the same. Actually, it looks like the newspaper one, the shirt may actually potentially, looks to be slightly wider, or at least on a different angle at the bottom or something. But the design of it's the same, and also the area with the V, it actually looks to be more like pinkish on the one with the newspaper and more like a reddish purple on the one with the fire glasses, which is interesting considering these were manufactured around the same time. They were only released a couple of months apart. I'd imagine manufactured at around the same time. Just one of them was released way before the others because of when the SDCC took place and when they wanted to get the Incredibles 20th anniversary merchandise out. What's also interesting is that the one with the newspaper, the stand is directly attached to her, can't be removed, and has the pole that goes into her back. Whereas this new one with the fire glass, it doesn't have that. It's a removable stand, no pole or anything. Despite the fact that I'd imagine that this one doesn't need a pole, why does the one with the newspaper need one? So that's definitely interesting. The nose does look to be the same on both of them. What's also interesting is that it seems like this area above the neck, the one with the newspaper, it has like a wider, like kind of circle with a flat bottom. I have no idea what that shape would be called. Like, it's not a semicircle. It's not a hemisphere because it's like past the midpoint, but like it's the one with the fire glasses doesn't have that. The one with the or at least the one with the fire glasses, it's more of a rectangle with curved edges, or with curved corners rather. So that's definitely interesting, and actually it looks like the newspaper one has two of those. So that's weird. In the other Edna review, the unboxing that I did a couple of months ago, I also compared that to the original Edna Mode from like 2012 or whatever it was. So I'll do that again in this video, and just like in that video, I don't have this Edna either. Probably never will because of how crazy the prices are. She's also vaulted. But again, I will put a stock photo on the screen for you all to compare. And I have the stock photo up on my iPad next to me. So one weird thing is that the original Edna release, they called her Edna E Mode in the package, but both these new Edna Modes are just Edna Mode. There's no middle name or middle initial or anything. So looking at the stock photo, first things first, the V looks to be redder than is on either of these, which is interesting. Oh, and one thing that I did forget to mention is that the one with the newspaper, the glasses had no transparency whatsoever, whereas these glasses do. That's an interesting change. Looks like the bevels and engravings on the hair look to be overall similar, but slightly different locations, possibly. Like, looks like this one is the third from the left. Looking at the front is slightly further down on the original 2012 one, but overall pretty similar. So both of the Edna Modes, the other Edna Modes, they had the white glasses with partial eyes. This one has actual eyes beneath the glasses with transparent glasses. This is the only one to have the transparent glasses, which is pretty cool. The mouth was just like a line, whereas these two both, they have the teeth and everything. It looks like the Edna Modes actually kept having that nose as like a separate piece, which is interesting. A lot of them don't have that. And it looks like, looking at the image, possibly your hands don't have the diamond texturing along the arm sleeves, potentially. Not can't be certain, though, just looking at a stock photo. But the torso does seem to be pretty similar in terms of the design and everything. This Edna Mode clocks in from the stands to her top is about a little over 3¼ inches tall, so she's not that tall. Her head, going where her glasses are, is about, from one end of her hair to the other, is about, well, actually going from the lowest from where her chin is about a little less than 2½ inches. Going across in this direction is a little less than 2 inches. 2¾ this way. So that's definitely a really cool Funko figure to have. I first went transparent glasses, which is pretty cool, and I love Edna Mode's characters. Really glad to have this in my collection. I think of the two, I would honestly have to say that they're both really cool. I love them both. I'd have to say the Syndrome is the better of the two because it's just such a cool expression. It's so unique how he's airborne with a really cool expression, having Jack pulling his hair. It's just so cool, the amount of detailing. With Edna Mode, the partially transparent glasses are really cool, but she is overall pretty similar to the one with the newspaper, relatively speaking, in terms of the design and everything. But nonetheless, they are so different in so many ways that they're definitely both great to have in a collection. I'd say the Syndrome is just slightly better of the two, but they're both really, really cool. Although with Syndrome, I didn't care for how Jack is basically, except for his arms, just a scaled-down version of the original Incredibles 2 release for the most part. But nonetheless, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Although I guess when you're thinking about it, they should be the same size, and Syndrome should be much better if you want for accuracy. But understandable why that didn't happen. And you're buying things strictly based on size. Like Syndrome is much bigger, and they cost the same. So you only get one, and you want to get like the most bang for your buck in terms of weight or detailing or anything. Syndrome would be the better of the two. Nonetheless, they're both really, really cool. I love them both, like I've said a few times already. So let me know in the comment section below if you've picked either of these up, and what you think of them and how you think of Syndrome and Edna compared to their respective previous versions. Which of the two Ednas do you prefer of the two, the newspaper, the fire glasses? I think they're both really cool in both their own ways. I feel like of the two, I'd honestly probably have to go with the fire glasses one because the transparent glasses are just, they really, I keep going on about them because I really do like them because it's not something that Funko typically does, I don't think. Certainly not with any that I own. I actually only collect Pixar ones, not mostly. Only collect Pixar ones. I do prefer the mouth expression on this new Edna as the one with the fire glasses as well. But nonetheless, they're both really good Ednas to have. So which of the two do you prefer? And make sure to like, subscribe. I'll see you soon for another video. Bye now.